Hello Fearless Gamers, Matt here for Fearless Games, and today I'm going to be doing a open box video. I apologize that I'm talking very quietly right now. Everyone else is asleep. It's pretty late and I wanted to get this done in a time where it's nice and cool, because when it's hot out, even though I don't mind the heat, I'm not very active in the heat. I play a lot of video games during the summer because I just want to relax and not do a lot of overexertion. And I do apologize if you can hear my fan because it's hot out. So I'm going to be doing an open box of the Star Wars X-Wing miniatures game. We just did a video on a quick play through it, though I did screw up a few things in that one. Now we're going to talk about the miniatures and what you get in the box. Do apologize, we're not going to have any close-ups of this. Camera girl's not here, so bear with. So we're going to first look into the starter kit. This is the core of the game. You need this to play the game. And so you can get this at practically any store that sells games. I've seen it at Walmart, Toys R Us, Target. Right now, at least on Long Island, Target has one of the best deals for it because it's on clearance. Barnes & Noble actually carries it, believe it or not. And then you can go to websites, or you can go straight to Fantasy Flight, which is the company that made this. They also did Talisman, the card game for Space Hulk, which I didn't know existed, Call of Cthulhu, there's a Game of Thrones game that they made, some pretty neat stuff. And Fantasy Flight produces a pretty good product. In fact, this game's gotten so popular, Star Trek is making their Wizards of the Coast, forgive me, I believe is the company who's making a Star Trek Attack Wing, I think is what they call it. And it uses the flight system that's used in here, so you could argumentatively possibly combine the two together to make Star Wars vs. Star Trek. We'll have to see about that. But there's the box, so let's dive right in. First, of course, as with a lot of these games, you get a catalog. This is the summer 2012 new releases. Then we've got advertising for the expansion sets. When this came out, you could get the X-Wing, the TIE Fighter, the Y-Wing, and the TIE Advance. Since then, the A-Wing has come out. Either the TIE Interceptor or the Bomber, I forget which one of the two, also came out. The Millennium Falcon came out, and Slave 1 came out. And on the way is either, again, the TIE Bomber or the TIE Interceptor. I forget which one is the one that's out. The B-Wing, which is probably going to be something I'll have to pick up. And another thing that I'm going to have to probably pick up, the Imperial Shuttle, which is pretty cool. I like that. You get quick rules. This is what we used in the video to get going. Then you get rules of play. Not a bad book. It's only 28 pages. And so far I've skimmed through them, and the rules are fairly easy to get behind and figure out. We got cardboard markers. We get 1, 2, 3, 4 cardboard sheets, and there's on them they have obstacles and focus counters, objectives, ship ID numbers, different ship ID and stat lines, lock-on indicators, squad numbers, maneuvering, maneuver sticks, focus counters, shield markers, and stuff like that, and evasion tokens and the like. You also get in that, you get the maneuver sticks. These basically determine what your distance and the maneuver that you're going to be making in your game. You get a whole bunch of those. Then you get these flight discs. These are really cool. They're small little dials, some assembly required, and they indicate how far and what position your ship will be moving to and what maneuver it's going to perform, which is pretty neat. It's kind of cool system. 6 dice. This is one thing where you probably want to go out and get the expansion set because there are rules around where you can get more dice, and so you may want to have the extra 6 just to be safe. A set of upgrade cards and damage cards. These are, cards that, add special abilities to your vessels or indicate damage and give you critical hit statuses. Flight character cards. So these are the little cards that you would use. So you would put the little what you would do is you would take the ship icon, the ship stat card that you're using for your piece, and place it on there. So you got that. And then you would take the corresponding card so you have a bigger reference piece so you don't have to keep looking at these tiny pieces. For the Empire, we've got the Academy Pilot, Obsidian Squad Pilot, we got 2 Black Squadron Pilots, we got Night Beast, Dark Curse, Mauler Mythal, another Obsidian Squad Pilot, because I think I already, yep, and another Academy Pilot. And for the Rebels, we got Rookie Pilot, Red Squadron Pilot, Biggs Darklighter. I don't know why you'd want Biggs, because, well, he didn't do too well last time we saw him. And Luke Skywalker, of course. And you also get these little flight stands, these little clear flight stands, and these pegs to put the ships on. So when done correctly, looks like that. You get a rangefinder, which is green for Imperial and red for Rebel. And you get 3 ships. These are 3 miniatures. You get 2 TIE fighters. Pretty cool. These guys are fairly decent scaling, and they got a lot of nice crisp detail. The paint job on them is actually pretty good. It's not like subpar or anything. It's about your average kid's miniature, like Micro Machine type stuff. So it's not as detailed as, say, the action figures, but they're not as crummy as, say, like the HeroClix, which, don't get me wrong, I have a whole bunch of HeroClix models, but they're painted horribly. And they're very light plastic pieces. And then you get 1 X-Wing, which is probably the best out of the 2 pieces because it's got the most detail, like on the guns and everything, and it just looks really cool. Both designs were always really great. That's one of the things I love about Star Wars is the ships look awesome. And the model pieces really show that they're a decent scale. They're not too big where they are absurd, but they're not too small where you can't tell what ship is what. And so that's what you get in the box set. And fun fact for anyone who doesn't know, 2 things. What does TIE stand for in TIE Fighter? Twin ion engines. And for anyone who's ever wondering the reason why, like when I was a little kid, I always thought it was because they looked like bow ties. That's what I thought they were. Actually, I used to call the bow tie pasta TIE Fighter pasta. Fun facts about me when I was young. And also one thing some people sometimes don't know is that the X-Wing was originally an Empire design. The Empire was going to design it, they were going to build it, but the Rebels stole the plans for it and they crafted them for themselves. So fun fact, the X-Wing was almost a Imperial fighter. So, all in all, not a bad deal for what you get. $40 gets you everything. And what's nice about this rule set is the way that it works. You only need 1 box set for your whole gaming room. If you have one of these, because you don't need extra maneuvering plates or anything. I haven't been in a scenario. Well, and the one time when we did play this, I wasn't going, oh gee, I wish we should have had, at least 3 more sets of this or blah blah blah. No, it's like 1 box set is enough. So now that I have this, maybe hopefully the other Fearless will get into it, buy their own ships, and add on to it. Which is the great thing about this is self-contained, and again, only one person needs to start it. So if you guys are, like, if you were at a college or have like a gaming group community thing, and if you're one of the head of it, or if you're not, or if you just want to add something to your gaming group's community, one set and you're good to go. Anyone who wants to get into it just has to buy more ships so they have their own models to play with, and that's it. Those expansions come with everything that you need. In fact, we're going to see what those expansions come with in a minute. But before I go into that, again, fun game, easy to learn. I've tried it out with 2 people so far, and both of them were very interested in it, including my girlfriend, who liked it, and that's saying something because she doesn't like miniature games. So for her to like something, that's a pretty big deal. And so now, speaking of expansion sets, let's go and open up the Millennium Falcon expansion set. I bought this because Millennium Falcon is one of my all-time favorite ships. Probably because it's the main character ship. Because I have this thing, if it's the main character, like, that's it. Very rarely do I get attached to side characters. Or any of the lot like that. And so, this guy right here, he's roughly the price of 2 expansion sets. So, for the price of 2 fighters, you're getting this whole big guy right here. And let us open it up and see what it comes with. So we get the stand. You get the piece to make the dial. More upgrade cards. I am not 100% sure. I have to look into it. I'm not sure if these cards can only be used on the Millennium Falcon. I'll have to read up on it. Or if they can be used with anything. I'm not 100% sure about that. If anyone knows, leave a comment. But I think these can only be used on the YT 1300 that comes in the box. But I could be wrong. Which is a weird thing. It's interesting. They plaster on the box that it's the Millennium Falcon. But then on the cards, they refer to it as the YT 1300. That way, you catch everyone's eye who's not familiar that the YT 1300 Corellian cruiser is the Millennium Falcon. Pretty sure it's Corellian. And because I think Han was Corellian. And so it catches their eye. Anyone who already knows, awesome. But then when you open it up, you learn that that's what the Millennium Falcon's ship is, So now you have the thing, there's X-Wing, Y-Wing, YT 1300, which is pretty cool. Then you get some stat cards. You get one for Chewbacca, Lando Calrissian, and overall their stats are pretty much the same. It looks like the only difference is their skill level. Then there's Han Solo, and then there is Outer Rim Smuggler. Yeah, the major difference is the type of upgrades it looks like they can get, and their skill level and stuff like that. And what's neat is you could essentially call the Outer Rim Smuggler the regular, your factory setting YT 1300, and Han, Lando, and Chewie gives you the Millennium Falcon stats. So, pretty interesting that they kind of did it that way. I think that's very clever. That way, if there's a difference, you can see what the benefit is of having the Millennium Falcon over just any generic YT 1300. Then you get a boost action reference card. This shows you how to do the special boost action. Which, looking at this, is something that you have to add on to these guys, which isn't a bad thing. You get 3 cardboard token markers. One gives you the YT 1300's action dial, some focus counters, shield counters, some mission objectives, and your stat card for the stand. And then you get quick rules for adding big ships to your game. And also, there's apparently there is a dice app for your Mac and your Android, so you can get for your smartphone, your iPhone, or your iPad. It's about $5 for the app. Don't know if it's worth it or not. If I have a spare iTunes card, probably pick it up, but only if I have a spare iTunes card. And then you get a model YT-1300. How many times am I going to say the name of this ship in this video? Let's find out. Should have probably put a counter in, but sadly, I did not. And it's very nicely detailed. I mean, they went out of their way for this one. And they even did it where you know how the quad cannon actually is supposed to look on the thing. It's a lot more accurate. The satellite moves, but I can see the satellite and the quad cannons breaking very easily. And what else does it have? It's got the engine piece a little upset about because it's not blue, so right now it looks like he's just hovering in space. But it's very nicely detailed. They didn't miss a thing when crafting this. Like, this is a model. Like, all the models in this game, you can tell, are made by dedicated fans of the film franchise series to put in as much quality that they do in these miniature figures alone is just amazing. So now, is the expansion worth it? Yes and no. Yes, if you're really committed to the game and you're like, oh, this is awesome, I gotta get whatever I can, and you're just buying up things and buying up, you know, your favorite ships and such from the game, then yeah, definitely worth it. But if you're someone who doesn't really have a particular favorite ship, and you're not sure how much you're going to go with it, you just want to do, you know, casual gaming with some small setups and such, then you may want to hold off on the expansion set for the Millennium Falcon, and instead save it up for 2 tiny ships or something, you know, an extra Rebel, an extra Imperial. That's my opinion. So it's pretty much for the die-hard dedicated fans of Star Wars like me, and probably a good chunk of the people on this channel, worth it. Definitely worth it. For someone who's maybe like enjoy the movies but are not die-hard fans, they probably may want to skip on this for now. I do plan on getting a couple more ships for this because I do want to make bigger games, and I want to get the Imperial shuttle to go against the Millennium Falcon. And yeah, so all in all, fun game. If you're looking for something new that's quick to play, games take about 20-30 minutes. The longest part is the dice rolling. The dice pretty much cause you to make this game last long. If there was no dice involved, this game would be really quick. As you can see in our Let's Play, it didn't take us too long to do a game. And it can be intense. There was a time where, like there was this, like in this one game I played, I was winning until the very end when I just could not hit the guy and he just kept rolling evasions. So it's a game that can go either way really quickly, and it's a quick game, about 30 to 45 minutes with 2 players, and overall it's enjoyable, and the rules do make for the potential of doing bigger games with like 3 or 4 people. So we'll see how it happens. What I would think would be neat for this is if they made some more like vessels, but I don't know where they're going to go with this. Are they going to go the expanded universe way, or are they going to go with the prequel side, you know, give us some Naboo ships and some Trade Federation ships, or are they going to go, you know, or are they going to go with more expanded universe stuff like the Phantom B-38 from Rebel Alliance 2, or the Schist TIE Fighter, which is probably my favorite looking TIE Fighter out of all of them. That one and the TIE Interceptor are my 2 favorite TIE Fighters. Rebel side, it would be really tough to do more because they pretty much have all of them out, because they got the X-Wing, they got the Y-Wing, and they got the A-Wing. And coming around the bend is the B-Wing. So it seems like they have all the Rebel ships. Looks like the Imperium got a lot more the Imperium. I keep calling the Imperium. The Empire got more ship designs than anything. But then again, the Empire had more financing, so it would make more sense for them to have more ships. The only thing I can think of that they can go and do more with the Rebels is throw in character expansion sets, just the cards themselves. So it'll be interesting. Like I said, if you want, and like I said, definitely worth a pickup. If you want to see a quick game before deciding, put a link in the description to the quick play game, and we will be probably, if my girlfriend is down with it, do a serious game using the full sets of rules later on in the future. So, thank you all for watching, and until next time, fearless gamers, take care.